Good afternoon, Tim community. Before jumping in to our use of pilot devices, I wanted to introduce our incident response team, aka IRT, with a little bit of background. Next slide. Washington State has 39 counties, and WashDOT is split into 6 regions encompassing those counties across the state. Our IRT are on call 24/7 and are located in all 6 regions with 86 employees and 69 IRT trucks, but their roving and response areas are based on locations with the most congestion, incidents, and severity of incidents. IRT coverage area results in roving 3,400 lane miles, covering about 18% of all state-owned centerline miles. And in 2024, IRT responded to approximately 43,181 incidents. Next slide. Not only does Washington State have over 15 hours of darkness during a large portion of winter, but is notoriously wet and encompassed in gray conditions during daylight hours, both of which increases our responders' need for visibility. And additionally, during the summer, we have relatively warm and dry conditions with a lot of forests and risks of fire. These are some unique challenges that really help drive the usefulness of pilot sequential flares specifically for our IRT operators. The flares are the orange ice cream sandwich looking lights on the screen. In 2023, we piloted 6 sets of pilot sequential flares, which resulted with WashDOT entering into a contract and then outfitting all of our IRT trucks with a set of 10 pilot rechargeable sequential flares and the option to utilize the PiLink devices. Use of all devices began in early of 2024 after delivery. The PiLink digital alerting system activates real-time advance warning by way of digital alerts once the flares are deployed to systems such as Waze and Apple Maps. You can also link it into the truck to link up with the light bars. So once lights are deployed, it would automatically send alerts. It is the gray device on the screen. But you do not need PiLink to use the flares. It is only an additional tool in advance warning. In June of 2025, so last month, our operators deployed flares 12 times and activated 104 hazard, maintenance, and lane closure alerts through PiLink by way of manually pressing the button using their flares or light bars. 70 of our alerts activated were emergency vehicle, move over, slow down. Trend-wise, incident numbers and severity are increasing from pre-COVID numbers, and any way we can provide clear early warning to avoid secondary crashes and keep our personnel on the roadway as illuminated as possible is instrumental. Next slide. Through utilizing both PiLink and PiLit, we have a few thoughts to share. Overall, the positive feedback since deploying the sequential flares is that our operators and supervisors advise they truly are reliable and easy to use. The devices also allow for versatility during incidents and allow the operators to adapt. For instance, IRT will place the pucks underneath cones to add additional directional lighting and illumination, or if we have multiple operators responding, the sets easily sync up to provide further coverage. The lights are magnetized and can be placed on the back of vehicles to create a sudden light bar on disabled vehicles. Our operators also enjoy having a dedicated carrying case that allows for uniform storage and saves precious space in their trucks. And some of our operators who utilize PiLink digital alerting report deploying the flares during daylight hours to provide advance warning on Waze and Apple Maps. Another positive is that a set of sequential flares has 20 hours of runtime on a full charge, making them last through the most severe incidents. And the sequential lights will pay for themselves after just a few deployments. So here's an example of a quick cost analysis. If it's $1.06 per 30-minute flare and you use average 5 flares per incident, and let's say you use them on a quarter of your incidents, for our example, that would have been about $57,214.83 for our incidents responded to in 2024. And it would cost $49,680 to outfit every single one of our IRT trucks with sequential flares. Another few considerations, as with every piece of technology, are that if you're utilizing the PiLink digital alerting system, there is an annual subscription fee per device. So depending on how often the sequential flares are deployed or the size of the fleet, that's something to keep in mind. If operators do not frequently use them or actively check on charging, there is a 6-hour full charge between depletion. And so if they didn't charge them after their last shift, there is a new process that needs to be added and considered for seamless use. If one light or a few lights are left behind or damaged, that is a $70 per puck replacement. It is nice to be able to replace individual pucks versus having to do the whole set, but it is a consideration nonetheless. And operators need to ensure pucks are clean before connecting to the base because of charging to ensure that there's no interruption to the connection. With all that being said, overall, our responders are satisfied with the overall performance, usability, and would recommend these to a colleague or similar department. And from a program management perspective, we thoroughly enjoy working with the vendor PI variables or PI variables throughout the contracting, warranty, and maintenance of these devices. Next slide. All right, if we could press play on the video, please. Oh, go back. Yep. Thank you. So here's an example of the sequential flares in action in our Northwest region. This was a 6-lane enclosure due to a pedestrian versus multiple vehicles, and there was an extended closure for investigation during the middle of the night. The pilot flares allowed 2 IRT trucks in 2 sets of sequential flares to quickly link up and effectively close a great number of lanes safely and steer the public in a manageable way during this major incident. And so this is just a really great example of seeing them in action. And next slide. If you have any questions or would like to connect, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you. Stay safe out there. Back to you, Jim.